Well, the man who Albuquerque police say shot a woman in the face and killed her this weekend is still in jail this morning and charged with murder. The shooting happened just before 8:30 Saturday night. Police say Byron Hayes told a Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputy there had been a shooting near Montgomery and Carlisle. Now, according to the criminal complaint, Hayes first told police he and the woman were sitting in a car. He says when she leaned over to kiss him, the gun that was on his lap went off and the bullet hit her in the face, killing her. Hayes told police he tried to do CPR, then panicked and drove the woman's body to his apartment near Unser and Ladera. That is when he says he left the body in his car, showered, and put his dirty clothes and the gun into a bag. Later, Hayes' mother took him to APD to tell his story, but police say it simply does not add up. That's because they say they found multiple bullet casings where the shooting happened, and they say Hayes then changed his story, saying the woman pulled the trigger and shot herself on accident. Now, whatever happened, neighbors say they are on edge.
She had told me that there was a homicide, and that's when I freaked out.
Yeah, I mean, gated apartment complex, nothing, never really any complaints or anything like that.
Police are not saying who the woman is just yet.
And police are still looking for the suspect in another violent crime this weekend. This one started as gunshots fired, but officers would end up finding a stabbing victim. 911 dispatchers received several calls about people hearing gunshots being fired on Sundance Kid Drive, that's in southwest Albuquerque, on Saturday. When officers arrived, though, they found a man holding his side and stumbling. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
A quick update this morning on Dodger, the corgi who ran away after a car crash last month. He has been found, he is recovering, and now his story is getting a lot of attention thanks to social media. Two Facebook groups, Corgi Nation and Prayers for Dodger, are sharing Dodger's story all around the internet and around the world. The clinic that is treating Dodger has already gotten $2,000 in donations. Dodger was found curled up in a pile of weeds near the crash near the Sky City Casino last month. Well, a police officer in Albuquerque is also getting a lot of attention this morning for what he did on Thanksgiving Day. Take a look. The department put up this picture on Twitter yesterday. It shows Officer Cole Knight going the extra mile and making sure an elderly woman gets across the street safely.
Time now 6:03. Albuquerque Public Schools has a serious need for special education teachers, about 60 open spots right now. Now the district is doing something unusual to fill the need. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is in the Newsplex with their unique approach. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. APS has decided to hold a job fair to fill all the special education jobs they have open. They're not waiting until next year. It's happening right smack dab in the middle of this school year.
It's a new approach that we are taking to be proactive. We usually wait until the spring semester graduates.
That's Deborah Dominguez-Clark with Albuquerque Public Schools Special Education Department. She says about 60 open special ed positions isn't out of the norm, but she does say it means shuffling students around so they all have a teacher. It puts special education classrooms at maximum capacity, according to the Albuquerque Teachers Federation. But that's not just an Albuquerque problem or even a New Mexico problem. The group says that's an issue nationwide.
There are people that are taking on more and more kids because there are fewer and fewer qualified people ready to step into special ed classrooms.
Now, Dominguez-Clark says the openings are for teachers at all levels. She says she hopes existing special ed, new college grads, and even general education teachers will attend the fair so they can begin the application process. A special license is required for special ed teachers. Crystal, back to you.
All right, thanks for that information, Catherine. Now, you still have a little time to prepare for the job fair. The job fair is Tuesday from 1 to 3 at APS City Center in Uptown. That is tomorrow. Applicants are asked to bring their resume and a copy of their teaching license. If you need to get that special ed license, there will be people there to help you complete that paperwork. For more information, go to our website. That's KRQE.com. Click on KRQE links. Okay, here's some good and bad news for New Mexico when it comes to student loan debt. According to Debt.com, it is the only state where the average student loan debt is less than $20,000. However, college students who attend New Mexico schools default on their loans more often than anywhere else in the country. The U.S. Department of Education's annual report says New Mexico's 20.8% default rate leads the nation.
All right, coming up on 6:06, if Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Small Business Saturday aren't enough for you to snag a deal, welcome to Cyber Monday, where the sales are all online. Many people like this day because it is very easy to shop. Online sales are growing year after year. So stick around. At about a half hour, News 13's Catherine Mazzone will be back to show us how to make sure your personal information stays safe as you're shopping online. Very important because we constantly hear about all the hackings going on all across the country. And speaking of Small Business Saturday, lots of stores were packed here in Duke City this weekend. This is Old Town, where people were out in small, locally owned businesses. They say shopping local keeps more money in the community and is a way for them to get unique gifts.
Okay, parents, listen up. If you need help during the holidays this year, you can still register for Toys for Tots. That's happening today. This is the second to last time you can sign up for the charity. In order to do so, you will need to bring 3 documents to the Alamosa Community Center: a valid government photo ID, your child's birth certificate, and proof of address. Now, your child must be at least 6 months old and younger than 11. You can register from 9 to 3. Again, that is today. And today is World AIDS Day, a day to remember those infected with the disease as well as those who have died from it. In remembrance, UNM Truman Health Services is hosting a candlelight vigil in the gazebo at the Old Town Plaza. That starts at 7 this evening. The group is asking for people to wear red in honor of the day and even snap a photo of themselves wearing red and upload it to their social media page with the hashtag UNM Truman getting to 0. Currently, there are an estimated 34 million people infected worldwide.
All right, 6:07, Breaking Bad fans are getting an early Christmas gift with another sneak peek at Better Call Saul. Take a look.
I don't think you want to be doing that.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do? You got a poop-filled diaper in there? You going to throw it at me? You going to gum me to that, huh, geezer? Oh, 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 oh.
Take him down, Mike. That clip shows when Saul meets Mike Armentrout for the very first time. It wasn't the introduction. I don't know, maybe you would expect it. Mike's a tough guy. Saul's a little bit of a rude moron. There are a lot of other words, too.
That's true.
You know,
Rude.
And Mike later becomes Saul's muscle. Better Call Saul premieres Sunday, February 8th, 2015. That would be at 8 o'clock our time on AMC. It looks like they kept the humor, because Saul was always the one to bring humor to Breaking Bad, and it looks like they kept that, and that the show will be very amusing.
What I think may be unusual about that meeting is that Saul was thinking Mike was this old guy who, and he's like, oh no, don't mess with me, buddy.
No, in fact, I'd see him in the gym from time to time when they were shooting here. I wouldn't mess with the guy in real life.
Yeah, definitely not.
As I mentioned, it is Cyber Monday, a time when a lot of people sit back, relax at work or at home, and shop online, trying to get the best deals out there.
Hopefully not at work. You might get fired because of that. However, there's no shortage of steep discounts that you can take advantage of, but there's also scammers that are out there trolling the internet. On how to keep your information safe, here's News 13's Catherine Mazzone.
Well, that's right, Crystal. Experts say that a lot of these e-commerce sites go a long way in ensuring your information is secure, but that's not to say that there aren't steps you can take to protect yourself. Experts say going to companies you know is one way to keep you safe. Big, well-known businesses like Best Buy and Amazon. But even on big company sites, they say it's important to make sure the website itself is trusted and secure. A couple ways to tell whether the site you're on is safe: look for an S after the HTTP at the beginning of a web address, or check for a lock symbol. Experts say you also want to make sure your passwords are safe. Don't use the same one for all of your accounts. They add where you do your shopping online is also important when it comes to safety.
Probably don't really want to be entering your information or buying things at a coffee shop or on a public internet connection. You want to wait to buy those things until you get home.
Tech expert Nika Allen says that's because you want to make sure you have a private internet connection, not a shared one. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that information, Catherine. Now, Ellen says if you are still concerned about safety, you can always buy a prepaid Visa or gift card online so you don't have to enter your own credit card information. Elbow throwing, shoving, not this year. It appears the buzz over Black Friday is quickly fading. A new report suggests that more people are avoiding the mayhem on Black Friday by skipping Thanksgiving dinner with the family and shopping on Gray Thursday. Black Friday sales fell slightly this year. According to Shopper Track, Americans spent $9.1 billion at stores on Black Friday this year. That's a drop of 7% compared to the same day last year. But it's too early to call the holiday shopping season a dud just yet. Shopper Track says sales on Thanksgiving jumped 24% to $3.2 billion. Those figures don't include online sales, though.
Well, 6:33 now, an APD officer who shot and killed a 19-year-old woman earlier this year could lose his job. Jeremy Deer's attorney, Tom Grover, says police supervisors are recommending that Officer Deer be fired. The attorney, Grover, also says they do not have a good reason for that level of discipline. Deer has been on desk duty since he shot and killed Mary Hawks back in April. He says he shot her because she pulled a gun on him, but Deer did not record that or the shooting on his lapel camera. Officer Deer has had 3 complaints filed against him, but didn't turn on his camera during any of those incidents. Now, you might remember after Officer Deer shot and killed Hawks, APD got in touch with Taser, the company that made Deer's lapel camera. They inspected it and say the camera's logs do not show any signs that Officer Deer hit the record button around the time of the shooting. In fact, Taser says the camera powered down minutes before Deer shot Hawks, then was powered back up minutes after. Taser says there were only 2 ways to explain why the camera was off. Either the power switch on the camera's controller was switched off or a cable somehow became disconnected. But Taser tested the cable by pulling and twisting it, and it only came out and powered off the camera when the jack came all the way out. Even then, Taser says there's usually a clip to keep the jack from coming out. On Officer Deer's camera, that clip was missing. State police are now investigating a deadly shooting involving one of their own officers. This happened Friday when San Juan County Sheriff's deputies were flagged down here on Highway 516 near Aztec. People there say a man had a gun, was threatening them, and even shooting at them. The deputies and state police officers heard gunshots and screaming.
As the San Juan County deputies and 2 New Mexico State police officers went to investigate the shots fired and the unidentified screaming, a New Mexico State police officer perceived a threat and fired shots at the individual.
The state police officer killed the man. Investigators have not released his name or the name of the officer involved. Crystal.
A Rio Rancho teen is back with her family this morning after she went missing for nearly a week. Her story is becoming a warning for parents about online dangers. Michael and Sabrina Jenkins' daughter, Cassandra, went missing last month. Her parents discovered an email account where she'd been communicating with a truck driver and became worried that she was in danger. She was finally found in Arizona with that man. Detectives are investigating what happened but aren't releasing many other details. Police say the case is a reminder parents should monitor their kids' internet activity.
Well, a small town here in New Mexico is now getting national attention for its sweet name.
Oh my, apple cranberry. Oh girl, this is good. Yeah, this is wonderful. Delicious.
Man, that looks good. All right, Pie Town here is on US 60 on the eastern edge of the Gila, and yep, you guessed it, there is some really good pie there. Bill Geist stopped by for CBS Sunday Morning this week to give us a little slice of life from the town and from not just one, but 2 different restaurants there, and he even tells a story about how Pie Town didn't have any pie at one point. That's a travesty. Then a mother and a daughter were driving through. They changed all that. To see the story, find out all the different pie that was there, and all the great people who are there, go to KRQE.com, click on links, everything is right there. Well, if you want a freshly cut Christmas tree, get ready to pay up some more green. Can't talk this morning, thinking about the pie. Yes, the pie is mouthful too. All right, we stopped by Just Sprinklers on Montgomery. Workers there told us they've seen a steady stream of folks already ready for Christmas, but 6 years of decreased demand and low prices put a lot of growers out of business. So if you're wanting a fresh tree, how do you keep them fresh and get your money's worth?
You can add preservative to the tree, which will help to kind of prolong the life of it. Really just making sure the heater in the house is not directly over, the tree's not by a vent, because that could actually make for a dry tree as well.
Terrific.
You don't want a dry tree. Depends on the tree, but many you'll pay just 20 bucks. Is that right? That seems cheap. All right, it's up $2 from the past few years.
That is depending on the tree, though.
Yeah. If you want, what is it, Fraser fir, Douglas fir, white fir?
If you want like a 14-foot tree, I guess you'd pay a lot more.
Yeah, have it like crunched down if you only have 10-foot ceilings. That's the way to go about it, kids.